All right, welcome to another deep dive. Excited to jump into something pretty cool today,
Yeah.
and that is the law of vibration.
Yeah, it's a good
We
one.
got an audio lesson by Bob Proctor,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, I'm curious to hear what you pulled out of that as the key takeaways,
Yeah.
and then kind of like how this applies to our listeners.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, so what is the law of vibration? Like for someone who's maybe never heard of this before.
Well, basically, it just means that everything in the universe is vibrating at a certain frequency,
Okay.
even our thoughts.
Oh,
So you think about like a radio dial
yeah.
and all those different frequencies.
Hmm.
The law of vibration states that everything is vibrating
Okay.
and that we attract what we are in vibrational harmony with.
So that's like saying like attracts, like kinda, or
Exactly.
okay.
Yeah, you can almost say the law of attraction is an extension of the law of vibration.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, wishing and hoping
No, it's much deeper than that.
that something will come to you. It's like you have to be on that same wavelength.
Yeah, you got to be on the same frequency.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like if you're trying to listen to a rock station on your radio,
Uh-huh.
but you're tuned into the classical music station,
Right.
you're not going to hear it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And it's the same way with like if you're vibrating at a low frequency of fear or scarcity,
Yeah.
you're not going to attract abundance and joy.
Gotcha. So you have to get rid of that fear and scarcity
Yeah,
mindset in order for the abundance to flow in.
that's it.
Okay, so how do we actually do that though? Like that's kind of a
Oh.
big one.
Yeah, it is.
I know Proctor talked a lot about imagination being key.
Yes,
And he had a great quote in there.
he did. Yeah, and he said that you're only limited by weakness of attention
Okay.
and poverty of imagination.
Ooh, I like that.
It's pretty powerful, right?
Yeah.
Because it really shifts that focus inward.
Uh-huh.
And it's saying, hey, you are not limited by your external circumstances.
Yeah.
You're limited by your own thoughts and imagination.
So if you can change your thoughts and your imagination,
Yeah.
then you can change your reality.
You change your reality.
Okay, I love that.
That's pretty empowering, huh?
It is very empowering, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like we're the conductors of our own orchestra,
Yes, we are.
and we get to choose the music.
We do.
I like that analogy a lot.
Yeah, that's a good one.
But then he also had another one that I thought was really interesting,
Oh, yeah.
that we are a story,
Yes.
a massive energy.
Uh-huh. What do you think about that one?
I think that's a really cool way to look at it. Like, we're not just,
Yeah.
this passive observer in the universe. Like,
right.
we are energy. We're putting that energy out.
Yes.
And that's affecting the world around us,
That's a great way to look at it.
whether we realize it or not.
And it really ties into his next point, too, which was nothing rests, everything moves.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
That's a good one, right?
Yeah,
Because it's easy to look at like a rock in a garden and think that it's not doing anything.
yeah.
But even that rock is vibrating at a microscopic level.
Oh, wow.
All those atoms are constantly in motion.
So even something that's seemingly inanimate
Yes.
is actually
vibrating.
vibrant.
It's full of energy.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he brought up a really good quote by Einstein about this.
He did, yeah. Einstein said everything is energy and that's all there is to it.
Yeah.
Match the frequency of the reality you want,
Uh-huh.
and you cannot help but get that reality.
Wow.
It can be no other way.
Okay.
This is not philosophy.
I like it.
This is physics.
So he's backing it up with science.
Exactly.
Wow. So it's not just some woo-woo concept. This is
Yeah.
like a real law of the universe.
A fundamental law of the universe.
Okay. Hey, look.
Very cool, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So if we're all energy and we can match that frequency
Yeah.
to create the reality we want, then how do we actually do that?
Well, Bud talked a lot about the power of repetition.
Okay.
And he gave that story about how reading Think and Grow Rich consistently changed his life.
Oh, yeah. Think and Grow Rich.
Classic book, right?
Yeah, such a good one.
So good.
So you're saying that just by reading something over and over,
Yeah,
you can reprogram your thinking.
exactly. Because you're exposing yourself to these new ideas,
Okay.
and you're basically imprinting these frequencies onto your subconscious mind.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like creating a groove in a record,
Uh-huh.
Every time you repeat that thought,
Yeah.
it becomes more ingrained in your subconscious.
Okay, so it's not just about like passively taking in the information. It's like we have to actively do it
You have to actively imprint it.
over and over again.
Exactly.
Okay, I like that.
It's so
But then he also talked about the difference between knowledge and experience.
right. Yeah.
What did he say about that?
Well, he actually learned that from Earl Nightingale,
Okay.
that just knowing something isn't enough.
Okay.
You have to experience it.
Gotcha.
It's the experience that solidifies that belief.
So it's one thing to know about the law of vibration.
Yeah.
It's another thing to actually experience it
Like,
in your own
yeah,
life.
you got to put it into practice.
Okay, yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like,
Yeah.
reading about how to bake a cake versus actually baking a cake.
Perfect analogy.
Like you can know the ingredients, you can know the steps,
Uh-huh.
but until you actually get in there
Yeah.
and do it,
And make a mess.
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And that's when that belief really solidifies,
Yeah.
when you have that experience.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So we got to get our hands dirty with this.
We do. We got to experiment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And speaking of moving from knowledge to experience, he mentioned something about, from Catherine Wupel,
Yes, he did.
about 5% strategy, 95% mindset.
It's a powerful one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
That's a big ratio.
it is.
So that's like saying, even if we have the perfect plan,
Uh-huh.
if our mindset isn't there,
Right.
we're probably not going to succeed.
We're probably not.
Yeah.
It all comes back to that vibration.
Okay, so that vibration is key.
Vibration is everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm starting to get a pretty good understanding of this.
Good.
Like, we need to watch our thoughts.
Ah.
We need to cultivate the right mindset.
Yes.
Understand that we're putting out this vibration constantly.
Yes.
But there's one term that he mentioned that I'm not totally clear on,
Oh, yeah. Which one was that?
and that is paradigms.
Paradigms, yeah. Those are basically our mental programs.
Okay.
Like the software that's running in the background of our minds
Gotcha.
that's dictating our habitual behaviors.
Okay.
They're formed through all of our life experiences,
Uh-huh.
our upbringing,
Yeah.
our culture,
Yeah.
the beliefs of the people around us.
Gotcha.
And they act like filters, They color how we see the world.
So they can either limit us
Yes,
or empower us.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So even if we want to manifest abundance, let's say,
Uh-huh.
but we have a paradigm that says money is evil,
Right.
that could hold us back.
It absolutely could.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're creating that resistance. And that resistance is going to block that flow of abundance.
So how do we break free of those?
Well, first you have to become aware of them.
Okay.
Right.
So it's that self-awareness again.
Self-awareness is key.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can start to challenge those paradigms.
Okay.
You can question them. You can say, is this really true? Is this serving me?
Right.
Or is this just a limiting belief that I've been carrying around for years?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
So once we identify that limiting belief,
Yeah.
then we can start to change it.
We can start to reprogram it.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah. And we can use our imagination for that too.
Okay.
We can start to visualize a new reality. Uh-huh.
A reality where that limiting belief no longer exists.
Okay.
And as we do that,
Yeah.
those new empowering beliefs start to take root in our subconscious mind.
I love it.
Yeah, it's like planting new seeds in a garden.
So we got to pull out the weeds.
Pull out the weeds.
And plant new seeds.
Plant those beautiful flowers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're not just stuck with these old paradigms.
No, we have the power to change them.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. So paradigms are super important.
Very important.
And he also said something really powerful that I want to touch on before we move on.
Okay.
And that was never be satisfied.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
That's an interesting perspective.
It is right.
Because most people would say, like,
Yeah.
strive for contentment.
Strive for happiness.
Yeah, strive for happiness.
Yeah.
But he's saying never be satisfied.
Well, he's not saying be miserable.
Right.
He's saying that dissatisfaction is a creative state.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So it's that dissatisfaction that drives us to grow.
That drives us to become more.
Okay.
And I think that ties into the law of vibration because when we're constantly seeking more,
Yeah.
we're vibrating at a higher frequency,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And that higher frequency is what's going to attract
Yeah.
the abundance and the joy and the success that we want.
Gotcha. So it's not about settling,
No, it's about constantly evolving.
constantly evolving.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
And then he also said that you are God's highest form of creation.
That's a powerful one.
Yeah, it is. And I think
Yeah.
what he's getting at with that is that we all have this incredible potential,
Yes, we do.
and we need to constantly be
Yeah.
bringing more of ourselves to the surface.
Yes.
And I think that ties into the law of vibration as well, because
Absolutely.
when we're aligned with our highest potential,
Uh-huh.
we're vibrating at our highest frequency.
Our highest frequency.
Right.
That's it.
Okay, so this has been a really fascinating start.
It has been.
to our deep dive into the law of vibration.
Yeah, we've covered
Like, we've gone over
Landon.
a lot of the foundational principles,
Uh-huh.
like the power of our thoughts,
Yes.
the importance of mindset,
Yes.
the idea of paradigms,
Yes.
repetition,
Yes.
experience,
Yeah. And even dissatisfaction.
dissatisfaction.
Yeah.
Go.
We've talked about a lot.
So much good stuff in here.
So much good stuff.
All right, well,
Well, I think in the next part of our deep dive, we
Yeah.
need to talk about how we can actually apply all of this.
okay. Yeah, how to actually
Yeah.
put this into practice.
Right. Because we can talk about the theory all day long.
Yeah.
But if we don't know how to use it,
Yeah, it doesn't do us any
it
good.
doesn't do us any good.
Okay, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive into that.
Me too.
So stay tuned for part 2 of this deep dive
Yes, stay tuned.
into the law of vibration.
All right.
Okay, so welcome back to the deep dive. We're talking about the law of vibration.
Yeah.
We've gone over a lot of the theories so far,
We have.
but now I want to get into, like, how do we actually apply this stuff?
Right. Yeah, because it can feel kind of overwhelming.
It can.
Like, where do I even start?
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So I think the first step is awareness.
Awareness.
Becoming aware of your thoughts and your feelings throughout the day.
Okay, so, like, what am I thinking?
Yeah, what are those thoughts that are running through your mind?
Okay.
What are those emotions that you're experiencing?
And how often am I thinking them?
Yeah, are you dwelling on negative thoughts?
Well,
Are you constantly worrying?
so if I'm thinking a lot of negative thoughts, then you're attracting more negativity.
Okay.
Yeah, you're putting that vibration out there,
Gotcha.
and the law of vibration says you're going to get more of what you're putting out.
Okay, so how do I stop thinking those negative thoughts?
Well, it's not about denying them.
Okay.
It's about acknowledging them and then choosing not to give them power.
Okay. So I can't just pretend they're not there.
Right. You got to see them for what they are.
But then you got to choose to focus on something else.
Okay.
Something more positive.
So how do I do that? Like, is there a strategy?
Yeah, I mean, mindfulness is really helpful,
Oh.
whether that's meditation or journaling or just taking some time to be present.
All right.
It can help you become more aware of those thought patterns.
So I got to become aware of the thoughts.
Yeah.
And then how do I actually change them?
Well, you can challenge them.
Okay.
You can ask yourself, is this thought really true?
Okay.
Is it serving me?
Okay.
Or is it just a limiting belief that's been running on autopilot in the background?
Okay. So I need to question those thoughts,
Say exactly.
not just take them at face value.
Right, you got to dig a little deeper.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, and it's a process. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen overnight.
It's like weeding a garden, right?
It is like weeding a garden.
You got to pull out the weeds.
Yeah,
Make room for the flowers.
exactly.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else can we do?
Well, affirmations are really helpful.
Okay.
And visualizations.
Affirmations and visualization.
Yeah.
So like repeating positive statements.
Yes.
And visualizing the life that I want.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when you do that, you're basically reprogramming your subconscious mind.
So if I want more abundance, I could say, like, I am abundant.
Yeah, you could say, I am open and receptive to unlimited abundance.
Okay. And visualize myself with, like, money and a nice house and all that.
Yes, and feel the feelings of having it.
Okay.
That's the key.
So it's not just about the words.
No, it's about the emotions.
Okay.
You got to feel it.
Gotcha. And how about gratitude? Does that play a role?
Gratitude is huge.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a vibrational shortcut.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because when you're focusing on what you're grateful for,
Uh-huh.
it raises your vibration.
Okay.
It puts you in a higher energetic state.
So I should make a gratitude list or something.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay.
Or just take some time each day to think about what you're grateful for.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we've got awareness, conscious choice,
Yes.
affirmations,
Yes.
visualizations,
Yes.
gratitude.
Yes.
This is a lot of good stuff.
It's a good toolkit.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is an ongoing process, right?
It is. It's a journey, not a destination.
Okay.
It's about making those conscious choices each day
Okay.
to align yourself with the reality you want.
So I can't just do this for a week and expect everything to change.
Right. You got to be consistent.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like going to the gym. You can't just work out once and expect to have a six-pack.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. You got to keep showing up
Okay.
and keep doing the work.
All right. Well, I'm excited to keep exploring this.
Me too.
And I think we should dive into even more of the practical stuff
I think we should.
in the next part of the deep dive.
Okay. Sounds good.
So stay tuned for part 3. Okay. Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap up our exploration of the law of vibration today.
Yes, we are.
And, we've talked about so much good stuff, like the importance of our thoughts and beliefs
Mhm.
and how those create our reality.
Right.
But I want to go a little deeper into this concept of paradigms that we touched on earlier.
Yes, paradigms are so important.
They are, and I think they can be a little tricky to understand
But
sometimes.
can be. Yes.
So can you just remind us again what exactly a paradigm is?
Yeah, so basically a paradigm is like a mental program.
Okay.
It's a set of beliefs and assumptions that we have about the world.
Okay.
And these beliefs and assumptions, they shape our perceptions.
Uh-huh.
They influence our thoughts and feelings and behaviors.
So it's like they're operating in the background.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like the operating system of our minds,
Sure.
like Windows or Mac OS.
Gotcha.
It's running all the time, whether we're aware of it or not.
And how are these paradigms formed?
Well, they're formed through our life experiences,
Okay.
our upbringing, our culture, the people we surround ourselves with.
So it's like a combination of nature and nurture.
Exactly. Yeah. And the thing about paradigms is that they can be really powerful.
Okay.
They can either limit us or empower us.
So how do we know if our paradigms are limiting us?
Well, one way to tell is to look at the results you're getting in your life.
Okay.
If you're not happy with the results you're getting, chances are you have some limiting paradigms that are holding you back.
So like if I want to attract more abundance,
Uh-huh.
but I'm not seeing it in my life,
Yeah,
it could be because I have a limiting paradigm about money.
exactly. Yeah, maybe you have a belief that money is evil
Okay.
or that rich people are greedy.
Okay. Yeah, I can see how that would hold me back.
Right, because if you believe those things on a subconscious level,
Yeah.
you're going to sabotage your efforts to attract abundance.
So how do we change these limiting paradigms?
Well, the first step is to become aware of them.
Okay, so that's self-awareness that we keep talking about.
Exactly.
Okay.
You got to shine a light on those subconscious beliefs. Bring
Totally.
them into your conscious awareness.
And once we're aware of them, then what?
Then you can start to challenge them.
Okay.
You can ask yourself, are these beliefs really true?
Okay.
Is there any evidence to support them?
Okay.
Or are they just stories that I've been telling myself?
So, like, if I have a belief that money is evil,
Yeah.
I could ask myself, is that really true?
Right. Is there any evidence to support that belief?
Okay.
Or is it just something that I learned from my parents or from society?
Okay, so questioning those beliefs.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't just accept them blindly.
Okay.
Question everything.
I like it.
Yeah. And then once you've questioned those beliefs,
Uh-huh.
you can start to replace them with new empowering beliefs.
Okay.
And you can use your imagination for this.
Okay, so like visualization.
Exactly. Yeah. Visualize yourself living the life you want
Okay.
with the beliefs that support that way.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. And as you do that, you're basically reprogramming your subconscious mind.
So we're taking out the old software
Yes.
and installing new software.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like a system upgrade.
Awesome. Okay. So we're identifying those limiting paradigms,
Uh-huh.
questioning them,
Yeah.
and then replacing them with empowering beliefs.
That's it.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think this has been an incredibly insightful deep dive into the law of vibration.
I agree.
We've covered so much ground,
We have.
from the science behind it to the practical tools we can use to apply it in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the biggest takeaway for me is that we are not victims of circumstance.
Absolutely not.
We have the power to create our own reality
We do.
by understanding and applying the law of vibration.
That's right.
So if you're ready to start manifesting your dreams, remember to become aware of your thoughts and beliefs,
Yeah.
challenge those limiting paradigms,
Yes.
and most importantly, never give up on yourself,
Never give up.
because you are capable of creating anything you desire.
Anything.
All right, that's it for this deep dive into the law of vibration.
Thank you for joining us.
We'll see you next time.